So you guys are unhappy with where you live now? Isn't that what we were talking about the other day?
Uh,
Well, actually, I think it's fine. I think maybe your father would like to share some stuff.
well, it's just the bureaucracy of living in a community where there are 2,000 people,
2,500.
2,500 people, and it's a big job taking care of it. And sometimes they do well, and sometimes they're not. They make mistakes, and I'm very impatient. So when there's a mistake made, I get very annoyed, and I've got to learn to chill out a little bit more. So in one way, this is a good place for me because it forces me to deal with the bureaucracy and uh, the uh, chill out a little bit. Anyway,
So let me ask you a question. So, like, what are the issues there that you're having with them?
well, sometimes you go down, the food is really not good. Other times you go down, the food is good. You have no control over what's happening. So you got, and we want to look at some ballet on the TV screen down in one of the rooms, and it didn't work, and they didn't have the right people to correct it, and it was just very annoying, and nothing.
Well, actually, you also have to remember because this is still during the time of COVID, and there is a very reduced staff.
I gotta remind everybody about this. You guys moved into an independent living facility. It's not assisted living. It's basically like a city of like 2,500 people that live in apartments by themselves, but they have all these events and services and just
Right.
No, actually, this is what they call a continuing care community.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which means there's independent living, there is assisted living.
There's a nursing home on that you can go to. You don't have to, but if you need it, you can go there.
Right, and they have and they have security here, and they make sure that you're safe. So it's it is the largest. We believe it's the largest continuing care community.
In the DMV?
Senior living
Yeah.
in this country. I don't know about other countries.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Okay, so, but there's also, like the whole restaurant industry, they're having problems getting people.
Short of staff.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, that's, so the food has gone down quite a bit.
And no omelet guy still, right?
No omelet guy.
Dad, no omelet guy?
No omelet guy. No. They used to have on Sunday brunch an omelet man where you go up, you can make your fresh omelet.
Could have been a woman. I don't remember.
I was there. Actually,
a woman or a guy, or
I'm not sure.
Doesn't make a difference.
I know there was a fight that broke out during one of those brunches for the omelet man or the omelet woman.
Oh, I don't remember that.
I don't think you were there, Mom. Actually, I think you were out of town. I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah,
I might not have.
You were with the turtles then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you might have been overseas. Yeah,
I might have been. So, and
and by the way, it's super expensive to get into this place, and it's super expensive monthly, and they make you buy meals, right? That's part of their deal. They make you buy meals, a certain amount of meals a month.
Well, that's included in the price.
It's included in the monthly
fee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that's how they get you on the meals.
Well, yeah.
Well,
they
haven't raised what you can go for 20 for the full meal, one meal a day for the whole month.
Right.
Or you can just go for 20 meals and you get a little money back. Not much, a little back.
Yeah.
We prefer that because we get a little money back, but the main thing is I can cook the other days or just go to a restaurant and bring food up. So it's a little more varied.
Okay.
But
A little more variety, I guess, too.
A little more variety, right?
Right.
A little more variety. But it's you're right. With the COVID, it's been very difficult. They've actually, I should give accolades to Riderwood for the good job they've done with the COVID. They've handled it. We haven't had an epidemic here. When it got bad, we had brought our food up to the room and ate in our apartments. Now we can go down and they have the buffet meals. Of course, they have a shortage of staff, so they've done we've gotten our shots, and we're going to get our booster shots in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, when are you getting your booster shot?
And in a couple of weeks, we just got our flu shot a few days ago.
I got mine today, by the way.
Yeah, we got a flu shot a few days ago. And we'll get the booster shots middle of October. And so they've done a good job of taking care of us. And we didn't have to run around looking for where we're going to get the shots. They brought the shots to us. And they've done a good job in that regard. But I guess it's, you get old and you get cranky and you want to have more control because as you get old, your body gets a little more shaky, so you feel more vulnerable. And some people age more gracefully than others. Unfortunately, I'm not a graceful ager.
You could be a graceful ager. Just you gotta walk around more and stuff.
I fuss a lot, but that's okay. I'm learning, and
Okay, so Dad, to make you feel better, a restaurant and entire staff quits at the same time. This happened in Macon, Georgia. They were open 7 days a week, and they worked 7 days a week, the whole staff there. And they posted a sign saying, "We've worked 7 days a week in the past month. We barely had any time off. We love our family at the restaurant, but we are officially quitting." So they quit this restaurant in Georgia because they're all overworked. And then I guess the restaurant did come back, and they're opening later in the day to try to address the shortage. But you know what? I get mad because Harris Teeter is closing at like 11 o'clock. They used to be 24 hours. Like a lot of restaurants are closing around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in Baltimore City, which is crazy. And it's not like this town, but there's a huge shortage. That's why there's a shortage of people everywhere.
Yeah, that's right. Right.
Yeah, there is.
So what do you think this shortage is about?
Oh, we know what the shortage is about. It's an uprise. Nobody wants to make little money anymore. They want to make the money that they deserve. They want more hourly money. They're not asking for too much crazy stuff. People are making too much money off people, and they want to get more share. I don't know if they're being greedy about it. I don't know what each individual person wants.
I think being greedy.
No idea.
No,
well, is it possible that they're afraid that if they they could get sick and die? A lot of people are dying. I just listened. There's more people have died from this pandemic than they did from the flu in
Spanish flu. Yeah,
whatever it was. The flu in the early 1918 flu. So this has been the worst pandemic in the history. The history.
Cool. So glad to be alive
bad
during this.
And you got to understand something, how bad it is. It's the worst pandemic with vaccines and medicine. They did the flu in the 1918 flu. They had no medicines for it.
Right.
And people, so you can imagine how bad this flu is. This is really deadly stuff, and it's getting young people now. Young people, So thank goodness. And be political, but I'm going to be realistic. Thank God for Joe Biden, because at least he has a sense of humanity, and he's working regularly to get this thing under control. So we ought to be grateful about what we have.
Right. So yeah, no, it's the COVID's definitely not over. And when do you guys get your third booster shot? You said in a couple of weeks. I'd get mine right now.
No, you should wait. I mean, you just got the flu shot. Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to wait now.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait at least 6 months. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. I think the other thing which is very disturbing is the amount of people who are not getting the shot because it's affecting us, the COVID, whatever.
Well, they're saying a lot of people that are vaccinated are causing a lot of the outbreaks too, because they're letting their guard down now that they think that they're okay because they're vaccinated. And that's also got the unvaccinated in a lot of trouble too. So, I mean, so the unvaccinated definitely needs to get vaccinated. Yeah.
Well, when we're indoors, we wear masks here. Outdoors, we don't have to, but,
I see more people wearing masks than ever before. People are beginning to catch on and take responsibility.
Right.
And that's good. And that's good. Let's hope we go through the winter okay and control this, And by next summer, I think we'll be in much better shape.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
So, Mom, I want to put this towards you since marriage counseling is your thing. So I guess September is the biggest cheating month of the year because of because the pandemic, because people are kind of frustrated with their significant other. So I thought this would be good. Like, do you have any tips on how to get along with your significant other to, I don't know, like, I guess give each other space? I don't know. Like, what would you do to prevent people from wanting to get away from their significant other? And are you and Dad good? Are you guys good?
Well, we'll talk about that later.
Whoa! What? What does that mean? We'll talk about that later. What's that mean?
I'm not going to touch that. I'm not going to touch that.
Well, the thing is, it's hard to live with another person. It really is.
It is. It is very. I know you're talking here, but I'm reaffirming what you said.
And a person's temperament living with is so important.
Right.
Well, so you're asking what to
do you have any tips for couples to get along better during the pandemic?
Let's see. So one thing is for them to at least meet once a week and think about the things that they appreciate that the other has done during that. To remind yourself, because it's so easy to focus on the negative, and work on not having that negativity in the environment. Okay, it's very debilitating.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you're right. I think there are times where you should work on having your own time and doing your own things.
Even if you don't want to, you should do it just so you have something to come back to the significant other with. Stories and stuff.
Yeah, and then you could share that with each other. Right. But I also think it's really important that you spend some time appreciating each other.
Right.
And also, well, you know how if there's an issue, to sit down and talk about it. And there's a process how to talk about it so both people don't become reactive.
Right.
It's just, it can be difficult.
Yeah.
May I add something to that?
Absolutely. I want to hear your side on what you think too.
I kind of agree with your mother. I think that's important. But what I think is even more important is not so much the appreciations. I appreciate you for this. I appreciate you for that. But I think more important than the appreciation is the acceptance. I accept you. I like you. I can't think of the word I want to use right now. Not being critical. We tend to be, some of us tend to be very critical of another person because we see faults in that other person,
right,
that we don't like. And when you do that, the other person can become very defensive and very protective over being criticized. And that can hurt a relationship. So that to me is as important as an appreciation for what you do. But also, your mother is right. People are very different with different temperaments. There are certain things that bother your mother that don't bother me. Certain things bother me that bother her.
Right.
That don't bother her. So it's hard. You've got to always put yourself in the other person's shoes and understand how they feel and what they're going through.
Right.
It's difficult, but it's work. And that's another thing. A good relationship is work. Got to work at it. Doesn't just happen naturally. It happens when you put work and effort into it, and you are able to understand where the other person's coming from.
Yeah, I know, and also, giving each other gifts. I don't mean material gifts necessarily, but things that that the person, like caring gifts, like getting them some tea or something, some small things that that they would have, that they would like. But I could see if you're together so much that can be that can be a challenge.
Big challenge. So, all right. So I want to shift this to another question. I went to the Ravens game, not this weekend, last weekend, Dad. And I wanted to ask you guys both. I had really interesting seats. They were like all the way up in the 500s, really far up. So I wanted to know, do we have is it weird that I got dizzy up there? Is that normal in our family? Does anybody get dizzy? I got dizzy up there. I got a little nervous.
I think your father.
What is that?
He gets dizzy up.
Oh yeah. I would. Those stadiums, yeah, and it's not. What makes me dizzy is that the stadium kind of slants the seats.
Right.
So it's almost like feeling if you lean forward too much, you could fall out or fall down.
Right.
My body. The older I get, the more sensitive I get for falling or being dizzy.
Oh, cool. Now you're making me feel like I'm getting older. All right, great.
Well, I have to tell you are getting older.
All right, let's calm it down here. Slow it all down.
All right.
All right. So that's normal then.
I'll tell you what bothers me. And you mentioned that the image of that bothers me is that, we've recently celebrated, unfortunately, the 20 year of 9/11.
Right.
And they were showing all sorts of films from that horrible morning when the towers were hit. And some of the films were so realistic you could actually see people had to make a decision. They were way up and they were burning, they didn't want to die or just jump. And there was some pictures of people holding hands and jumping out of the windows.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, 100 feet up, 100 floors up, and I think about that, and I just got very dizzy and nauseous.
You just got dizzy right now? Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm thinking about it.
Oh God,
the image of it, it's really uncomfortable. And yet, when I was younger, your mother and I went to Hawaii. And we, one of the islands, we took a helicopter ride.
You were on a helicopter ride? Oh, my God. Okay.
Yeah, it was a glass-enclosed helicopter.
Hell no, I'm out.
Oh, my goodness.
Did you freak out?
It was so beautiful and so exciting that I forgot being dizzy. I wasn't dizzy. I was busy looking at, it was an unbelievable experience.
Yeah.
So. You got to be open to it. It's just really, I don't know if I could do that now, though.
No.
But anyway, it's an experience.
Wow. Okay. That's good to know.
But anyway, I don't like to be up high. Although in the apartment we're in now, and you've seen our apartment, we're on the
Fourth? Yeah.
Yeah, we're on the fourth floor. We're up high, and it's almost like we're with the birds. The birds fly by, and it's really I'm very comfortable in it, and being up high and looking. It's a different perspective.
And Z100, when they were in Jersey City, they were on the 36th floor.
Whoa!
So I would literally get on the elevator after I fly into the city, and I would literally get more nauseous on the elevator ride than I did on the plane ride. And then I'd be like walking around like freaking out that I'm on the 36th floor. And then when they moved over to Tribeca in the city, and they were on the third floor, I surprisingly sounded really good on Z100. It sounded the best I've ever because I wasn't scared I was going to fall.
Oh my!
That was scary. Did you ever go on Empire State Building, take the elevator up to the observation?
Yeah. I got dizzy. The new Freedom Tower. I went up into that thing and I got really dizzy at the top. Oh my God. Only because I wasn't prepared and I had to like calm myself down. But I calmed myself down and enjoyed the views. But wow, that was insane being up that high. Woo.
Yeah.
All right.